Good morning, Jody
Good morning.
Hippen.
Good morning.
I don't have a jingle, so I will sing for you. Welcome to the Morning Muffin Show, your morning carbo load of real estate. Ching ching, ching ching. I don't know.
The best
I'm
in the
still,
business.
I'm still experimenting with it. Okay, so today we're doing market updates for morning Muffin Market Monday. That's what we do. Market Monday, we talk about the market and what's going on. And you, my pal, are here. Jody Hippen from Wintrust Mortgage.
And good morning, all. Good morning. Filling you full of wonderful details.
And you're not just Jody Hippen, but you're also what I like to refer to as the fairy godmother of loan officers.
Thank
Because
you.
you're always sparkly, and I tell people she's got a little bit of bibbity boppity boo in her.
I do make magic at times. You're correct. Yeah. No, I really honestly, I love to try to help people and I really don't give up. I fight. I fight for my clients and I fight to make something happen. And yet I educate because the key is, the more education people have, the better the desire on their end and the better the deal can come together. So absolutely.
Yeah, and this is exactly what the morning muffin is all about, is an open conversation, a moving conversation every day about a different topic surrounding real estate, talking about all the things that help make this industry the best industry in the entire world, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so let's get on this and let's talk about. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm gonna talk about. Why is this? Hold on, you guys. I have a touch screen, but apparently my fingers are too cold to operate it right now. I don't know why. It's
Maybe the wind chill.
maybe it's warm where I'm at, so I don't know. It's just maybe poor circulation. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yep, it looks
Jody.
good. Yep, it
Oh,
looks good.
great. Okay, so this
Absolutely.
is Info Sparks. This is information attained by the Twin Cities Association of Realtors, or MAR, Minnesota Association of Realtors, also partnered with NAR, National Association of Realtors. It's all one giant realtor union. I'll put it that way. They call it memberships and stuff, but it's very, very much like a union. So we have a lot of politics involved. We have lobbyists. We have all kinds of things. So if you guys don't think that real estate, because I had a mentee once that told me that they don't want to talk about politics. And I'm like, well, you're in the wrong business. This is housing. This is politics. This is economy. Let's
Yep.
get a little bit of into the business, shall we? Okay, so here we go. We got Info Sparks right here. This is January median sales price for the Twin Cities area. So Twin Cities region up here. So that is like, the suburbs, the tier. I don't have a map of it, but you guys can Google it. Or maybe I could put it in the notes. But we have here in 2020, what is this? January 21. So 2019, and this is median sales price. This is all price ranges down here in the brown. Okay, so this takes everything, and I can actually go through. So say we're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Can we find? I don't think we can do bath. It's just bedrooms. Okay, 3 bedrooms, right? And so this is the median sales price right here. All price ranges. So I don't even have to have it in by the price range. let's look specifically where most people can afford, right? This is like the first time home buyer. Most people want to be below 250. So here we go. So, it's up a little bit. It's still
A
not
little
major.
bit. Right. No, that's pretty good though. I mean, it says that it hasn't moved dramatically year over
No,
year.
it's not. It's just not enough. We can mess around a little bit more. So if you're thinking about selling your house or buying a house in a specific neighborhood, I can use that data and I can really like
Oh,
hone in and look at it. And it's a great, if you're numbers driven, it's a great tool that we have as real estate agents to really dive into not only your neighborhood, the numbers, the year over year market and stuff like that. So if you're a first time home buyer and you're looking to move into a specific neighborhood, call me up and let's look at the numbers for that, because you might not be able to afford where you want, right? The old real estate location, 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 right? How do you feel about that phrase?
yeah. I would say that's definitely fair. Absolutely. Because I tell everybody the same thing is, not to get discouraged because every city has different pockets. And when you least expect it, that house will pop up. So,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so now one of the great things that I love having loan officers here is because you are the money person. I always tell people I work with a team. There's 3 people on my team for the most part, and it's the agent, and it's the loan officer, and it's the title company. Are like the basic structure of how to buy a home and the things that you need. And you
Yep.
are the money person and I am the house person. And now there's
Absolutely.
branches, of course, with inspectors and things, but just to make things simple, you do the money and I do the house. So let's talk about the money because today is Market Monday.
Nice.
Um, can
Well,
you, okay. So how do you know how many refis you did last year? And tell me about the refi market in 2020.
yeah. Well, I would say, okay, in 2020, starting in probably late February, early March, interest rates dropped. And it was just a massive drop to the point where I think everybody decided they wanted to take advantage of it and perhaps maybe didn't even think about possible repercussions like, are we going to sell in the next year or two? They just wanted to get on board with a low interest rate.
Okay, now
So,
let's back up because for the layman that's out there that might not be able to to understand that is you're talking about the interest rates had dropped
interest rates have
really
dropped.
low. And a
Yep.
lot of people, for example, who bought in maybe 2018 at a 5% could now refi below like or right around 3.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what is
So
that?
yeah,
Is that how much of a price difference on average?
you mean payment difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it once again depends on the size of the mortgage, but like let's just say your average consumer that has a mortgage out there of maybe two and a quarter, 225,000, it could be very well close to a $200 drop in their
Wow.
monthly payment.
Yeah.
And every factor comes into play, like how long they've lived there and such. But ultimately, everybody wanted to get the lower interest rates. Everybody.
I knew
So,
somebody that refied after being in a house for like 6 months and was
yep,
able to take advantage of the lower rate and dropped $150 in their payment
yep, absolutely.
in just the
So
interest.
that's what I'm trying to say is that has definitely helped a ton of home buyers. As you and I both know, a lot of companies went to putting people working at home.
No,
So
and those
that
aren't home
helped.
buyers. Those are home owners.
Homeowners, yeah, or well, homeowners. Sorry for the
No, it's
clarification.
okay. I want to be clear
Yeah,
because so and I'm going to vent my frustration to you, and it's to you, not like at you. Okay, so as a buyer's agent, we're talking about home buyers. There's like two economic markets, right? There's the social family market, and then there's this corporate money market, right? So you are a bank and you are this person and you work for this one and I work for this little one, and it turns in the middle and we need each other, right? So the corporate market loves refis. It's easy money, it's typically easier files. You already have their information and things like that. It keeps the money within the bank, or it brings new money in the bank. And it's really great for business. And typically, they're actually up year over year, 46%. And I will put in all of my statistics in the comments for everybody.
Yeah.
But what's so frustrating is that literally took all of the potential sellers for these buyers that I work with and sucked them out of the market.
Oh, of course, because like I was starting to say, a lot of people ended up working from home because their companies, and because of COVID. And because of that, people got ideas of, hey, let's remodel our house. Hey, let's upgrade our house. So therefore, the refi market exploded, not just because of the low interest rates, but because people were working from home and decided, well, why don't we take money and upgrade our home, if that's the case?
So here is the social justice aspect that I would like to ask you, and most loan officers, not that you speak for all loan officers, Jody, because I love you and you don't, is how can you and I, partner together to have this conversation with these potential refinances about the human aspect that's being left on the table? Because, for example, you and I have mutual clients that are losing out on amazing offers, 20% down, no inspection, they're losing out to investors, they're losing out. And it's just, there's this, without the inventory out there, they are stuck living with in-laws, and living with in-laws, okay, your marriage is on the line, right? Because there's only so long you can emotionally raise children under an in-law's house. I think everybody knows that, right? So there's just this money-driven industry around refinancing that is sucking, like I said, the sellers out of the market. And it is causing this housing disparity. Not only is it causing house prices to rise in extreme ways, but we're hearing about 20, 25, I've heard 35 offers on one property. And it's all because that inventory is missing. So how do you and I come together and partner to remedy that?
You got me on that one, girl. Like I said, I think it's a personal choice with people. And I mean, the good news behind it is if they're going to end up paying closing costs, they're recouping them in a year. So it's not like a refi is a long-term expense in a lot of ways. But
right. But what kind of conversations are you having with them about the human aspect being left on the table in the form of housing disparity?
I mean, I haven't at this time, because I'm here to counsel them on whether refinancing is a good decision or not. I don't normally get involved on a real estate end of it. I just more or less talk to them on whether or not the refinance is a good choice of theirs as far as their circumstances.
Okay. And then does the bank put pressure on you to
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They would prefer not to have them, because it's depending on if we're currently holding the mortgage and we're paying it off, they're losing money. They're losing money by having that debt paid off. So no, they do not encourage refinances. They would actually prefer purchases. But the unfortunate piece is, like I said, if a consumer wants to refinance, I'm not going to talk them out of it. I'm going to talk them through their choices. But it's the whole point of real estate's tough right now. It's very tough. I think the low interest rates drove that.
I do.
That and COVID. It's the two combined. You have to understand, it's not just the interest rates, it's COVID as well. Too many people are working from home.
Well, right. But if they can but the thing is, if there was inventory, if this lack of inventory didn't cause, okay, so it's in a wheel, right?
Yeah.
Catch 22. Okay. So people need to move because we have a lack of inventory and buyers. They need a bigger house, but instead of moving up like traditionally they would do into a house, because not only are their kids not going to school anymore, they can literally go to school anywhere. So they can literally pick up their house and move. Cabin sales were up, in fact. Motorhomes were
right.
So it's not the fact that they need to work from home. It's the fact that there was something happening with the interest rates that allowed for sellers to stay in place longer. And the interest rates were really great. And I think that the interest rates went down to help first-time home buyers, because also the things that we have talked about as far as housing disparity is the basic income that everybody has, or not basic, excuse me, that's the wrong word, is that the average median income plus the rising student loans causing a debt to income ratio that isn't involved in there. And I mean, this is getting like super. And so now with those housing prices rising, what they can afford is almost non-existent. So we are causing
it's tough
injustice in the form of a housing disparity. And then it's, I feel like the refinance market is just exacerbating it.
Well, part of it too, you also have to understand, is people lost jobs. And so why wouldn't you refinance if there was enough income to support a new lower payment? People are going to refinance to get, and I would say that's probably 80-90% of the conversations I've had with customers that have refinanced, is they are just looking to reduce their housing expenses. I think everybody in this market has been looking at that.
Is it out of fear of losing their job, or is it actually because they lost their job?
I could say both. I'm not going to go 50-50 on that, but I could say I've seen it in both situations where a spouse has lost a job, or I've also heard from people that just seriously want to drop it, period. Don't know what the future is going to hold. So I think you're going to get a combination of both groups if you think about it that way. No, and I will say the same for first-time home buyers. It's very, very tough because even though the interest rates are fantastic, like you said, student loan debt has increased dramatically. People are going back to school. Guidelines in the mortgage industry are a little bit tougher on people that have student loans. So that holds a lot of people back from qualifying. And then on top of that, the basically first-time buyer home has increased in price. And that is hurting. So you've got a lot of factors, even though the interest rates are wonderful. You've got a lot of people that either jobs, student loan debt, whatever it may be, is holding back.
Yeah, I know. And so I just wanted to thank you so much, number one, for coming on and
absolutely
with me, because you and I work together a lot. And like I said, we have clients together, and it's so hard to, it's heartbreaking more than anything. Because I know you put your heart and soul into everything, and I put my heart and soul into everything. And to see this, like I said, there's this disparity forming and becoming more palpable within the city. And it's not safer to move outside the city in Minnesota and drive an hour to work on icy roads. Like this just isn't possible. And builders aren't building affordable homes. Builders are building mansions in the suburbs for $450,000, which is not affordable.
Yeah, that's why I said we definitely need everything to kind of slow itself down a little bit so that people can think about selling again and get that market moving again when it comes. Yeah.
Well, I hope this inspires you a little bit to have more conversation with potential sellers, and maybe with more of the first-time home buyers in mind. And if there's anything that I could ever do to help you or partner with you, you just give me a call. You know where I am at.
I'm here. Absolutely. And I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks so much for listening.
Jody, will you be coming back next week on Monday?
I will. I'll be back with some more good updates.
I know, and it's gonna be what is it? Parade of Homes coming up soon.
Oh
So we
yeah, we
want
got the
to
new
talk about
construction.
new
Absolutely.
construction financing. That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.